Hey everyone, this is Josh Hayward and welcome to day 6 of 31 Days of Pumpkin. We've taken a look at 5 great pumpkin beers thus far. I say great, they haven't been all great. Some of them have been rather interesting. But we're 5 days in and we've already seen just a wide variety of pumpkin beers. Everything from just your straight up pumpkin ale to a Scottish pumpkin ale to a spiced autumn ale. We've seen a little bit of everything. Tonight we have a very interesting beer for you tonight. This is the new Belgium Voodoo Ranger special release Atomic Pumpkin. And this is by New Belgium Brewing out of Fort Collins, Colorado and Asheville, North Carolina. I say both of them because they have 2 big hubs here in the U.S. I'm in the southeast, so pretty much I guess most of what we see from New Belgium comes from Asheville. I think they've got it split up though. Certain breweries do certain things. But interesting thing about this beer, the Voodoo Ranger series, this has been a special series that New Belgium has released throughout the year in a variety of different kinds of brews. You see the Voodoo Ranger IPAs, they have several different IPA varieties, and pretty much every Voodoo Ranger anything I've had from New Belgium has been pretty good. I've been very pleased with it. So when I saw that they did a pumpkin ale, I was very, very interested. And this one, it's they call it Atomic Pumpkin. I believe it's got some peppers in it. Yeah, pumpkin ale featuring cinnamon and habanero chili peppers for just the right amount of heat. So we'll see what we've got. I actually came across this brew at a tap room recently. Was gonna try it, but I held off on it. I said, hey, I'm gonna have my first try of it with you guys for day 6 of 31 Days of Pumpkin. So thank you so much for joining along. Let's see what we've got here. All right, rather clear beer for sure. I wish that I could do a montage of the pours of all of these beers because each one of them has looked different. This one here, again, very different from last night. Last night was a very dark autumn ale, dark brown, dark amber. This is a very, very pale golden color. If you were looking straight at it, you may guess it as a pale ale or another type of pale malt type beer. Very, very little haze in there. A little bit of haze, I would say not transparent. I guess the correct scientific term is translucent. So there's a little bit of haze in there, which leads me to believe that they may have even put some actual pumpkin in here. A little more golden and yellow towards the bottom of the glass. So as far as the malts used in this, it's going to be kind of a pale malt, lighter type malt. We're not going to see much of the darker type flavors from that. No toasted bread, no cinnamon, those types of things. It's going to be more like bready and biscuity type flavors as far as the malt and the grain bill goes. White frothy head there with a quick swirl of the glass, and I'm not getting too much on the nose. In the last few videos, whenever I have swirled these glasses, those autumn spices were just coming up out of those aromas were just coming up out of the glass. So not smelling a whole lot of that here, I should say. So let's see what we've got. Not a whole lot on the nose. Again, just have to clear the nasal passageways and go at it again. Very, very, again, kind of reiterating what I said a few moments ago, pale on the malt side, not getting many aromas from the malt for sure. I am getting some faint cinnamon in there, and I don't know if that's my my nose playing tricks on me or having read it on the bottle there, but I feel like there's just a faint cinnamon. Like I don't know. My mom used to make me like cinnamon toast when I was growing up, and she put the cinnamon on the butter toast or whatever. So that's kind of what I remember when I smell that faint bit of cinnamon in there. Something else I'm getting in there. Some other type of spice too, and I don't know if that's from some autumn spices in there or if it's from the actual peppers, but the more I kind of take a sniff of it, the more and more cinnamon I'm picking up, at least on the nose. Nothing as far as the hops go. Cinnamon's kind of taking the forefront as far as the aromas go. Let's see what we've got. Cheers. Wow. That's a very, very interesting beer. Very interesting beer. Wow. Let's see. Let me take another sip of that. So initial taste, I feel like as soon as you take a sip of the beer, you're thinking kind of a lighter type ale, but then you get some cinnamon taste in there, as we kind of discerned on the nose, on the aromas there. Cinnamon, and then heat, like very pronounced heat from the peppers that they used in here. What did they say? Habanero chili peppers. You can definitely taste them, and that probably hits the palate mid-taste and then carries on throughout the rest of the taste, and even on after you swallow the beer, it kind of lingers in the back of your throat. It's a pleasant, very pleasant heat, especially if you tend to like kind of spicier things. I'm not tasting a ton of pumpkin in there. I will say that with the cinnamon, I feel like there may be some pumpkin spice in there. I feel like when I take a sip of it, I'm almost taking a bite of pumpkin pie and then getting smashed with some habaneros at the back of it. It's a very interesting combination. I've never quite had a beer quite like this. It's very interesting. You think pumpkin ale, you kind of have an idea of what you're going to taste, but you take a sip of this and you get the cinnamon and you get a little bit of pumpkin spice flavors, and then you're kind of kicked in the face with that habanero, but it's very pleasant. I feel like they kind of just really pushed the envelope, so to speak, on being really innovative on this. You see lots of different pumpkin ales on the market, and I feel like they outdid themselves, kind of taking a different approach. It's like, hey, we're going to make a pumpkin ale, but we're going to really think outside the box, and I think they did that. I think it fits their label for Voodoo Ranger, kind of always pushing the limits, so to speak, on the style. Very interesting beer. Can't say that it would be a go-to fall brew for these cooler type days. It's something good to try. It's not something I can drink a lot of, but I can definitely appreciate the style, definitely appreciate what they did with it. Just some really interesting flavors in here. I'd give this one a try. You should be able to find this one pretty readily. I've seen it around, especially if you get New Belgium in your area of the country. You should be able to find the Voodoo Ranger Atomic Pumpkin. But not a bad brew. Cheers to New Belgium. Cheers to you guys for following along thus far. We will see you tomorrow for day 7 of 31 Days of Pumpkin. Take care and cheers.